Imagine walking through a forest when suddenly you stumble upon a massive stone wall. You touch it, but your eyes see nothing. You realize you've just discovered the invisible castle. But what if I told you this is not just a fantasy? What if legends of invisible castles were real, rooted in history, designed to hide secrets that could change the world? Stay with me, because in the next 20 minutes, you'll uncover a story of fear, courage, mystery, and a lesson that might just reshape the way you live your own life. For centuries, stories of castles that cannot be seen, or that vanish at will, have been passed down in villages across Europe. From the Scottish Highlands to the hills of France, whispers of invisible fortresses have fascinated both kings and commoners. Now, of course, I know what you're thinking. If castles were invisible, how would they ever collect rent from the villagers? Fair point. But beyond the humor lies something deeper. These stories were not about magic alone. They were about fear. The fear of invasion. The fear of betrayal. And the fear of losing everything you have built. Hidden castles were not just myths, they were symbols of power. Some were disguised by fog, others by hidden valleys, and a few, so cleverly built into cliffs and forests that they may as well have been invisible. Historians believe these legends carried lessons. Not everything powerful has to be seen. And that brings us to the heart of this story, an invisible castle that would test the courage of a young prince, and challenge the choices he made, choices that still echo in our lives today. Our tale begins with Prince Alaric, a boy older than 16. He had heard the stories. Somewhere in his kingdom, hidden deep in the woods, stood a castle that only revealed itself to those who were brave enough to seek it. But there was a warning: whoever entered the invisible castle would face their deepest fear. And only by overcoming it could they leave. So, would you dare to step inside? Alaric, restless and eager to prove himself, did. And what he found was no golden treasure, no army of knights, but a mirror. A mirror that showed him not who he was, but who he could become if he failed to make the right choices. He saw himself as a selfish king, ignoring the cries of his people. He saw greed, betrayal, and loneliness. The sight nearly crushed him. Now, let's be honest, most of us would probably have screamed and run at this point. I mean, a mirror showing you your future mistakes? That's worse than looking at old-school photos. But instead, Alaric stood his ground. The invisible castle was testing him. And through fear, he learned. He realized that power was not about being seen, but about doing what is right, even when no one is watching. And this, my friends, is where history and legend merge. Because in our world too, countless leaders faced the invisible castle of choices. Some failed, but some became great because they passed the test. Prince Alaric left the castle changed. He vowed never to rule with pride, but with humility. And when he finally became king, his people remembered him not as a warrior, not as a conqueror, but as a ruler who listened, cared, and sacrificed for his people. The invisible castle disappeared into legend, but its lesson never did. And here's the truth: each of us carries our own invisible castle. It's not made of stone or glass, it's the moment when we face fear, temptation, or selfishness. It's when no one is watching, and we must choose: do we do what is easy, or do we do what is right? Of course, your invisible castle might not involve a dragon or a magic mirror. It might just be doing your homework before scrolling TikTok. But hey, the principle still stands. The invisible castle teaches us this: the strongest walls are built inside us. Courage, honesty, humility, these are the fortresses that protect our lives. And if a 16-year-old prince could learn that lesson, so can we. So the next time you face your invisible castle, remember Prince Alaric. Remember that fear can be a teacher, choices shape destiny, and true power is unseen. But don't stop here, because history holds countless other stories filled with hidden morals that can guide your life today. Click right here on the end screen to watch my next video, History Morals for Life. Trust me, you don't want to miss the wisdom waiting there. Until then, stay curious, stay brave, and never stop building the invisible castle within.